This is TWiT.
Virtual reality pioneer John Carmack has had it with Meta and has quit. Mm-hmm. He's joined Meta as chief technology officer of Oculus when they acquired Oculus. He quit in a huff, or at least a minute and a huff. Old Groucho Marx joke. He said Meta, which is in the midst of transitioning from a social networking company to one focused on the immersive world of the metaverse, was operating at, quote, half the effectiveness and has, quote, a ridiculous amount of people and resources, but we constantly self-sabotage and squander effort. He wrote in the post, which, by the way, he says the Times is missing the context, and so he's posted the entire post publicly now. But he wrote, "It's been a struggle for me. I have a voice at the highest levels here, so it feels like I should be able to move things, but I'm evidently not persuasive enough."
And for the record, he's wasn't an employee; he was a consultant. I'm pretty sure, and so I think it's a combination of him changing, his own personal career, and also nobody's happy with the whole metaverse direction of Facebook, it seems.
Yeah. Nobody. I think that's probably, we were talking about, my wife and I were talking about why Sheryl Sandberg left. And I said, well, ostensibly it's because she was getting married and had a new family and she wanted to spend more time with her money. But I think it must have also something to do with this new direction, which is really being promoted by Mark, but maybe not as well supported by the rest of the company. Yeah, he was an executive consultant for virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because the metaverse nomenclature is, it was always a dystopian concept. He turned it into the name of the branding of the company, Meta, and has been talking nonstop about it. But we're talking about virtual reality and augmented reality and things like that. All of that was always going to be inevitable. And Facebook, the biggest problem is just Facebook is not very good at it. So they can talk all they want, they can squander billions, but at the end of the day, they're just not very good at doing what Mark Zuckerberg calls the metaverse.
Yeah. It depends on what you look at. It's not clear to me whether Meta is a application developer or a platform. And they're really both, right? So Horizon Worlds, for example, isn't doing very well, but VR Chat and there are products on the Quest platform that do reasonably well. Are actually very well done. So it may turn out that as a platform, they actually aren't that bad, but they've got some problems with their own apps, I have to admit. And again, full disclosure, I actually wrote some of their safety guides, so we work with them as well. Got a great safety team. I'll say that much about them. But I think as a platform, I think it's too early to judge.
Yeah.
And of course, they may acquire or somehow make, Horizon Worlds may get better. Let's hope it does.
His final words in his post: "Enough complaining. I'm wearied of the fight and have my own startup to run, but the fight is still winnable. VR can bring value to most of the people in the world, and no company is better positioned to do it than Meta. Maybe it is actually possible to get there by just plowing ahead with current practices, but there's plenty of room for improvement. Make better decisions and fill your products with give a damn." So,
notice he said VR, right?
Yeah.
So, the problem is that AR is going to be vastly bigger than VR, and Apple is going to completely own that market, I think, VR. AR.
AR is going to be huge.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense. And of course, Meta is going to go there too. The question is whether they go there fast enough.
In a way, they have. I have the Oculus Pro, or the Quest Pro that they just made, the $1,600 one.
Yeah.
Call me crazy. But because it has good color cameras in the front, you can see stuff. In fact, they have some good games that are AR games involving.
It's a shame that I have the Quest Pro 2, and it is eons better than the Quest 2. And it's a shame that the only way to get the really, really good one is to have to pay $1,500.
Well, maybe it's just that expensive to make.
Hopefully it'll come down. I think it will. But
Apple, it's rumored when they do release their augmented reality headset, and the rumor is they'll do it next year, late in the year. but that it'll cost around $3,000. It's not going to be cheap.
Yeah, that's a non-starter.
Well, it's a developer tool at that point, right? Nobody.
It is, and
so is HoloLens. So is Google.
Yeah.
They all are, really.
Yeah.
Hey, we should talk Linux. It's the operating system that runs the internet, a bunch of game consoles, cell phones, and maybe even the machine on your desk. You already knew all that. What you may not know is that TWiT now has a show dedicated to it, the Untitled Linux Show. Whether you're a Linux pro, a burgeoning sysadmin, or just curious what the big deal is, you should join us on the Club TWiT Discord every Saturday afternoon for news, analysis, and tips to sharpen your Linux skills. And then make sure you subscribe to the Club TWiT exclusive Untitled Linux Show. Wait, you're not a Club TWiT member yet? Well, go to twit.tv/clubtwit and sign up. Hope to see you there.